Hey everyone, it's Mel. Today we are planting strawberries. We're going to look at what kind of strawberries should you plant, how deep should we plant them, how do we feed them, which fertilizer to use, and how to keep the bugs off your strawberries. Also, you can actually create free strawberry plants from the one plant that you have. So we're going to plant some in grow bags, we're going to plant in the landscape, in raised beds, and then we can see how we can make baby strawberry plants from the one mother plant. You really never have to buy strawberry plants again if you don't want to when you do it this way. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, first up, we're going to plant our first strawberry plant in grow bags. This is I think this is a 5-gallon, 3 or 5 gallon. And I started off with like these really bigger bags here initially, but you don't really need such big bags. I think those are either 10 or 15. You don't need such big grow bags for strawberries because their roots don't grow very deep down. They don't go too far down. So you don't need to use like all of that soil, all of so much fertilizer and resources. You can put it in a small bag. And how we know that our strawberries will be ready to fruit, let's see if I can get this, is when they start flowering. Look at that. With some heat, fertilizer, and water in a couple of weeks, this will be like this beautiful white flower here. Can we see that? And that's a fruit. That is a future strawberry. So be gentle with those girls. So let's look at how deep we should plant our strawberries. There is something called the crown of your strawberry plant, and that is about there. Can you see that? We don't want to go deeper than this crown because you can rot your strawberry plant and then you're done. So let's make sure, I'm going to take some of this away actually. We don't really need all of that around the strawberry. I'll just put it in the bag. But when we put her in the grow bag, right, we want to make sure that we can see the crown. And I'm going to plant it more to this side so that it can fall over the bag. Oh, great, someone's mowing. Awesome. Perfect timing. Okay, there we go. Take some of that away from the crown. Backfill this. I always think I'm going to time my videos out perfectly when the mowing stops or the ball bouncing stops, but nope. It doesn't work out that way sometimes. So sorry for the noise. The birds are super chatty today. They're talking about a lot. All right, really just that simple. Let's get a closer look. Can you see that? So now we have 2 strawberry plants, one that's already starting to bloom. These were in the bags last year, so this one will grow faster than this new one here with producing strawberries. Now, what we must do is fertilize our strawberries. And Espoma makes it really easy when it comes to using fertilizers because they basically say what the fertilizer is for on the bag. So we're just going to use some berry tone, and right there, blueberries, strawberries. Right? Super easy, not hard, right? Let's get a little going around our plant, work it into the soil. Look, she's nice, ready to go, start growing for you in the summer. Now we water her in well. And with grow bags, you want to make sure you keep them watered nicely. Keep them hydrated because they tend to dry out faster than, say, pots or even your raised bed. So you may notice that you have to come in water, maybe depending obviously how hot it is, instead of every other day or every week. You may need to come more frequently depending on your zone and if we're in the dead of summer. Look how cute that sign is. Eek. So cute. Pick your own, and we will very soon. We have our strawberry in our grow bag. Again, we want to keep it watered consistently because grow bags will evaporate water quickly, faster than like regular pots or raised beds. But which strawberry plant should we grow? Do we want to grow June bearing? Do we want to grow everbearing? Well, that really does depend on what you're growing strawberries for. If you're like batching and canning strawberries because you want to like jam or preserve strawberries, you want to have a bunch at one time. So that means you should plant June bearing because you get a bigger harvest at one time versus everbearing. Well, you get them periodically throughout the growing season. Today we're planting everbearing. So that way we can come in and week after week just pick some strawberries as we go. And that's why I really want to plant a lot so that I can pick from a lot of plants. If you have just one or two and you're picking here or there, you're not going to have enough. I mean, you'll get a couple, but I want a lot of strawberries, but not necessarily a lot at one time because I'm not preserving. Airplane. The birds are having a really intense conversation today. Okay, so next let's go to planting our strawberry plant in a raised bed, and we can see how we can create free strawberry plants from the one mother plant. All right, let's go. Okay, again, we're going to plant down until we get to the crown. We don't want to go over that point, right? Okay, this is what's called a runner, and a runner is essentially a free strawberry plant. That is the root to that runner. You see all those furry hairs on there? Roots will take off from that point, and really all you need to do is put it in the soil. Once the runner makes contact with the soil, it will grow its roots, and eventually you can cut it when it's well established from the mother plant, and you have essentially your very own new strawberry plant. Just get it in the soil, and I like to use landscape staples to hold it in place. Okay, let's get this girl into the raised bed, and we can continue growing off of this one plant year after year just by using the runner method that I just showed you. But just a tip here, if you want your strawberry plant to focus on growing strawberries, not necessarily runners, what you want to do is just clip the runners off right away, and that way the plant can send its energy and focus into creating actual strawberries and not runners. But if you are interested in sort of creating multiple plants right away, just let those runners go, and the following season you can more than double and triple your plants. I don't typically spray any of my food with any sprays for bugs, especially if it's not safe for consumption. But sometimes the roly-polies really do take over. So what you can do is use a safe spray if you need to, if you don't come, pick them out yourself. You can use insecticidal soap on the leaves and maybe like around the plant, so not necessarily directly where the roots are, but just to spray around the plants. That's a safe method you can try. forget to water in your new plant, and just enjoy the fact that you're going to have a bunch of delicious strawberries in the next few months. Look at that. We're ready to go, ready for the summer. Okay guys, thank you so much, and gals, for hanging out with me today. We are done planting our strawberries. Let me know if you're going to plant some strawberries in your garden too. And again, look at this cute sign. I found it on Amazon. I couldn't wait to put it up. It's so cute.